Caught my friend jacking off on mic thinking he muted himself. Gamers of Reddit, what is your "this dude forgot to turn off his mic" moment? Back in the Halo 2 days, a teen was getting yelled at to get off the game. He called his mom a bitch and she responded with an ass whooping that sounded like a hyena getting mauled by 50 cats in a plywood box. The teen's kid brother got on during the beatdown saying hell yeah, he never lets me play. Little man was actually pretty good from what I remembered too. I was playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare when one of my teammates dies and is left to spectate me. After a while, he says he has to leave, and then proceeds to moan loudly. At first, I thought he was jacking off until he leaned into the mic, and in the worst girl voice you can imagine, said, "Can't believe, guy's name, has a 7-inch penis." I just laughed uncontrollably, and he responded with "Sorry man, was having sex." Wow! This really blew up. Thank you all for the support. Kid on PC arguing with his mom because he didn't want dinner. I was so hungry. And his mom sounded sweet. So basically me and 3 other dudes on Discord. One was living with his parents and grandparents. His grandpa barges into his room and after mumbling something he yelled, "Pull down your pants." Dude was just wearing some dirty pants but we fully misunderstood the situation. The older sister was telling his little brother, our teammate, that is her time to play and she will turn off the console if he doesn't get up. He insists just this one match. Please. No, and disconnected. Lol. Years ago, Halo 3. My cat was being unusually affectionate and cuddly. I killed a guy in multiplayer and was distracted by the cat. I start asking who has a fuzzy belly? Who is my fuzzy girl? And it turned out the guy I killed could still hear my voice and he was having none of it. I wish I still has the XBL message he sent. He seemed really insecure about his fuzzy belly. Basically, this guy during my game was saying we needed to finish it quick, his girlfriend was coming over. This was during a ranked game, so the guy didn't want to leave. It ended up being a pretty hard match, it was Dota, so it ended up being 120 minutes long. He started to flame everyone on the mic because his girlfriend was almost here and we needed to end the match. Then we hear him apologize to his girlfriend because he can't leave, and then she says it's alright. She wants to see how focused he can stay. Thank God for the ability to mute people, otherwise, we would have heard him getting his dick sucked for 20 minutes. He didn't stay focused on the game and we lost. Caught my friend jacking off on mic thinking he muted himself. I heard him groaning so then I shouted no coming in my party. I get to my buddy's house, and he is playing COD. Has his headset on. This house is a work in progress, so every time I get there, something has changed. I walk into his gaming room and see he has made some modifications to the house and ask him about it. He proceeds to give me a lesson on construction fundamentals / building techniques / and the why. After about 5 or so minutes he realizes he was on the mic the whole time and he goes oh shit. Someone chimes in. Hey, so that was actually really interesting and all, but can you shut the fuck up? I don't think we ever laughed as hard. This happened to me. My press to talk button was stuck and I had gotten up to feed the cat. I always sing songs for him as I'm feeding him and, apparently, my mic picked everything up, so when I got back on, my entire raid was singing about my cat and I was embarrassed as hell. I don't sing in public. At all. I find it hella embarrassing. I don't have any as weird as the ones here, but I definitely recall one time getting ready to pull a raid boss in WoW and hearing one kid's mother yell at him to take out the trash. The kid was 16 or something, and all 24 of us were like nope, not pulling yet, go take out the trash for your mom. I also have a friend who used to fall asleep on Discord after taking Ambien, and some of those conversations were hilarious, but I'm pretty sure he knows where I live and will kill me if I share them on Reddit. I was that dude once. Nothing scandalous, just embarrassing. You know how sometimes couples will be all sugary sweet, lovey-dovey to each other when they're alone, in a way that they'd probably not do in front of other people because it's so cringing? Don't pretend you don't know what I'm talking about, people in relationships. Anyway, I had my headset on and was being a typical idiot with my friends. My then partner was nearby so I took off the headset, forgot to mute the mic, and commenced the instant transformation into this over-the-top cutesy love kitten. You can imagine how much I wanted to crawl under a rock and die a few minutes later. That was like 12 years ago. I was extra careful about the mic from then on. I wasn't playing or watching the live stream, but during an racing event, NASCAR driver Kyle Larson did not realize his mic was on for the entire group, and therefore was being broadcasted via Twitch, said, "Can anybody hear me? Hey, N-word." Very next day he lost his real-life NASCAR sponsors and his real-life ride. Just today I was playing Modern Warfare and this guy on my team had his mic open. His phone rang in the background and he picked up to his wife talking about how he needs to get off his ass and go to the store. He leads with profanities and ended with a fine bitch and went back to playing. I said into game chat, "So are you gonna go to the store?" Unfazed he said, "Now." Some dude confessing his love to a girl and then singing a song to her. It worked. In the end, it was all cheered for him. Chillin' in a squad when someone doesn't have a push to talk on and they start yelling at their family and occasionally letting out a giant scream from dying. Was playing on a CS::GO server. This squeaker comes in the server acting all tough, trash talking, mocking other people, etc. Now it's about 11 at night now, and we hear this kid saying, "But mommy, I don't wanna go to sleep, I wanna play." We all started laughing our asses off and he disconnected. A group of 5 of us had been doing several runs in WoW and had been chatting it up the whole time about whatever. One woman's boyfriend came into her room and asked her if when she was done if she could look under his balls. He had a bump and didn't know if it was a pimple or a boil. He was talking about how much it hurt and itched and he tried using a mirror but couldn't get the angle right. She let him go on for about 2 to 3 minutes as we were all busting up laughing before she finally told him her mic was on. I was playing Rainbow Six Vegas a whole while back. I got me a few friends in, and also had a couple of stragglers. We were pretty decent as a team, we'd not lost for a few days although playtime had only been a few hours due to work. Anyway, these stragglers who joined got added to our chat, talked strategy with them, they seemed alright. 2 brothers from Georgia. We start playing, and we're abseiling down the roof, running through casinos and everything is going well. Our squad is racking up kills, but one of the stragglers keeps dying. His brother is complaining. The guy who keeps dying grabs the briefcase and runs. We're calling to get him to come to the lift shafts but he ignored us, runs straight to the windows, and gets taken out. Drops the case in a room packed with enemies. We can't get it in time, we lose. The useful brother starts complaining and muttering under his breath, then talks louder like we couldn't hear him before, and says sorry about his brother's mistake. We'll win now. We switch to defense. The useless brother runs straight out of the vault, despite telling him to wait at the back stairs, goes and gets killed. His brother is mumbling again, clearly agitated. Now, the useful brother is defending the case. Anyone who gets past the 3 main defense points he is picking them off and doing great. The case never leaves our sight, despite the back stairs not being covered. Useless brother sees someone in the case room. Decides to throw a flashbang. We all get blinded. Look around, the case is gone. As we're going chasing after it, the useless bro apologies. His brother says whatever and in his mumble voice he seemingly thinks no one can hear says, "This is the exact crap that made me shit in your gym bag." The character of the useless bro stops dead in front of me as we're chasing the enemy. Then there's a loud noise on the other bro's mic, followed by what sounded like the biggest bitch slap, open palm strike whatever I've ever heard. Useful brother's character suddenly stops too. I and my squad are laughing, wondering what's going on, as we lose the game, and on the mics, we can just hear one of the brothers crying. And then a mom shouting in the distance. I first got COD 3 from PS4 a while back. Like I was a serious squeaker. So eventually I joined my first online match and was getting whooped. I kid you not, my mom is making tater tots that night and proceeded to yell, loud enough for my dinky little earbud mic to pick up, "Oh and yo er ta ter to tease or riati." Not my proudest moment but I still laugh at it. I've played a game with a guy whose kids were playing in the background. He kept telling them to relax, keep it down, and whatever more and more aggressively. At some point, it all just goes off and you could just hear how he slapped the shit out of at least one of the kids. Kids crying and screaming, tumbling sounds, dude yelling off the top of his lungs, Skin getting slapped. Everything in game just stopped, and the rest of the team were just in shock. My friend says let's back out, and we do. I wanted to hurt this man so bad. I have 2 stories. First story. I was playing Black Desert online with a group of my friends. 2 of those friends are married. We'll call them Arby and Barbie. Barbie goes to the kitchen to make food while muting her mic. Meanwhile, Arby tells us be right back guys and runs off to the kitchen. As we just finished grinding, I parked my horse in Valia and we all started hearing moans coming from B's end of the mic. Turns out, Arby and Barbie were having sex in the kitchen and Arby's headset unmuted his Discord somehow. When Arby got back, we were all trying so hard not to laugh and Barbie comes back like, babe, did you fucking forget to mute your mic? They immediately left the call, and we burst out laughing. They didn't join back for 3 days. Second story. My friend from school, whom we'll call Jay, has a little bit of a temper problem and rages like every other game. One day, as we're playing League with the boys, Jay's girlfriend comes into his room and we immediately hear top-tier rape coming from the other end like, "Shut the fuck up you cunt, all you do is spend my goddamn money, I'm so sick and tired of this shit you stupid insert the N-word, hard or you know I'm broke right?" You could hear his girlfriend crying from the other end of the mic, and the next thing he says is, "Sorry guys, what did I miss?" The saddest part of this story is that Jay and his girlfriend still together. Years ago, I was playing Gears of War on XBL and this kid joined my game. From the sound of his voice, he couldn't have been older than 12 or 13, but he was talking trash the whole time. You know, the usual stuff, you suck, you're gay, fuck your mom, etc. Apparently, his mom walked in while he was in the middle of throwing yet another of his dumb insults at me and his mic was on. She came in and was like, "What? What are you saying, is that how I raised you?" Slap sound. Ha. Ha. Are you talking like that? Answer me, did I raise you like that? More slaps and he's crying and saying, "Mama, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Mama, please. Let me finish my game." And she's like, "Aw hell no. You're not finishing nothing." And then he's dropped out of the game. I was playing WoW with a friend and he was teaching me the basics. My mom comes in my room and yells in the heaviest smoker accent possible, "What up lad?" She interrupted her sentence because I ripped out my microphone. My friend was frightened for a good minute, thinking someone broke into my house. It was a video call on Zoom, but one dude literally turned his camera on, picked his nose, ate it, and then turned his camera back off. Repeatedly. He turned his camera on and off repeatedly, too, and he completely looked like it was just some subconscious thing. Basically, my friend always keeps his mic on, and this one time I heard his parents arguing in the background and he literally screamed "Yay 2 Christmases" and then there was silence. Here we go, I have a story for this one. So me and my friend, let's call him Ben, had a goal a while back to complete every achievement in Minecraft on the Xbox One. We put nearly 300 hours into the world and whenever we would play, his girlfriend would always go on her phone to help pass the time. This one particular evening we were building my house, well, more of a tower, and he starts placing random blocks in places they weren't supposed to be. I asked if he was okay and he said that he was fine and carried on building. As time went on, his breathing got progressively heavier until about 5 minutes later I asked him if his girl was going down on him. What I didn't know is that he was, in fact, getting head and he was getting close to finishing, until his girlfriend heard me over the mic and started laughing and ruined the moment. I'm sorry Ben, but it's a lesson learned not to multitask. Obviously Minecraft is more important. I was playing a game of Fortnite with my brother and my friend. We ended up in a squad game with some guy and every few minutes you would hear his girl or something yelling from across the room, "Eat your fucking tacos." He would usually yell back with "Heat them up for me or I know." Eventually, she got pissed and she walked in and said, "You trying to play that game, Joshua?" She then proceeds to knock him onto the floor and the rest of us are tortured by the sound of this man moaning and her sucking him off saying next, "I'ma pop a titty in your mouth and I hope you lose this game." Then my friend just crack up and say, "Hey, you sound like you got a big mouth. Got room for another dick?" We then hear them be surprised and the guy leaves the game. Funniest 10 minutes of my life. Back when Fortnite was popular and everyone was playing it, I and my best guy friend played it all the time. It was when they just released Playground mode, we decided to try it. I was the lobby leader and forgot to turn off the autofill option to fill the other 2 gaps. We joined, and 2 people were there. One was yelling at the other to shut the fuck up because apparently the other was jacking off. Before me and my guy friend left, we heard him moan a good few times. I was raiding Blackrock Foundry in World of Warcraft. We pull a boss and one of our hunters is standing there doing nothing. She dies and her mic comes on. All we hear is super loud moaning and gasping. She's quickly removed from the server and we down the boss. About 10 minutes later she rejoins the server and goes sorry. My boyfriend decided to fuck me right before we pulled. Our guild master kicked her on the spot. Apparently, this was not the first time it happened. Wolf Kitty, if you're still out there, thank you for this story. Thank you for watching Reddit Space. Please subscribe if you love these Reddit stories.